I'm Bill Ritter. We do talk a lot about gun insanity here on Eyewitness News these days, and tragically, it was on full display across New York City yesterday. 9 shootings on Memorial Day. 9 shootings, a total of 15 victims.
7 of those shootings happened in a span of just 6 hours between 4:45 in the afternoon and 10:40 at night. And there was gun violence in all 5 boroughs. One person, a 15-year-old, was killed.
We'll say that again. A 15-year-old was killed. In one of those shootings, 5 people were hurt. This exclusive video of that shootout in the Bushwick section of Brooklyn. Eyewitness News reporter N.J. Burkett obtaining this video, and he joins us live at the scene now. Newt?
Right, Bill, Mayor de Blasio told me today that he can feel it in his bones. The city of New York is turning around. But try telling that to the people of Bushwick, Brooklyn, or the people in Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx, or Staten Island. Yes, there were shootings last night in all of those places. 5 people shot here on this street corner alone.
I wasn't here, so I'm glad I wasn't here.
Neighbors know how lucky they were. It was just before 8 p.m. 2 groups of young men are standing outside the neighborhood bodega. Suddenly, one of them opens fire, and it's pandemonium. 5 will be hit with gunshots to the chest and back, in the arms and legs. Amazingly, no bystanders were wounded, but it was only one of several shootings last night. In just 6 hours, there were 7 shootings with 13 victims. One of them, a 15-year-old in Harlem, was killed. A rising tide of gun violence that touched every borough last night. And it all comes as police have struggled for weeks to control violent assaults in the New York City transit system. Today, we asked Mayor de Blasio to explain what's happening and what he's doing about it.
What do you say to people who believe that the crime genie is out of the bottle and you don't know how to stuff it back in?
I understand the fear, I really do. And there's a persistent concern, which I've heard now for decades in this city, of are we going to go back to the bad old days? And I really try my best to help people understand there are so many reasons why that is not going to happen.
The mayor believes that a return to normal economic activity will stem the tide, as well as a fully functioning court system. But so far, the surge in shootings this year is up to 573, leaving a trail of 652 victims, an increase of 78% over 2020. But the mayor believes his policing strategy will ultimately prevail and insists he's focused on the future.
I'm convinced we are going to turn this city around and have a recovery for all of us. I can feel it in my bones.
Noted urban studies professor Mitchell Moss of NYU says the mayor is mistaken.
The mayor is absolutely.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Afridamus Report. Today we're going to be looking at how summer is spent in the black side of town and on the white side of town. Started out with video. This video is from credible news source. I'm using this as research so that we, the people, can see exactly what we are looking at here. It is not to disparage anyone. It is not to put anyone down. But at the Afridamus Report, I'm here to give you the factual on what is happening. We don't have to make it up. We don't have to go back to 1863. We don't have to go back to 1430. Because guess what? We weren't there. So we can only talk about what is happening today. But the purpose of this news report is to show you how summer is spent in the white side of town and on the black side of town. That was just a kickoff. You know, in my previous broadcast, I was talking about how if you hear certain names, you're supposed to avoid them. But do people pay attention to that? No, they think I'm being funny, right? But you're going to be seeing this with your own 2 eyes. Like last time, I was talking about how you're supposed to avoid gas stations on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Some of you thought, oh, this guy is just trying to be funny. I don't want to hear what this guy is saying. But, okay, it doesn't have to be Martin Luther King Boulevard, but certain gas stations you have to avoid by any means necessary. So my job here is to bring the news to the new immigrants, or those of you that are trying to immigrate to America, to know where to move to and where not to move to. You don't have to base your feelings on this. This is about reality. Because you know what? Your life depends on it. This information that I'm giving you here. So you shouldn't sit on this information. Make sure you be a good person, kind person, and share this information with people. And in this video, you would see that there's no such thing as white supremacy, racism, sexism, homophobism, blackism, anti-blackism. You're not going to see that here. Or any Afrophobicism. You're not going to see all those. Yes, you're probably saying, oh, this guy's just making up words. The words that you're using, where do you think they came from? Somebody is messing with you. So this is why I'm here to give you the facts, proof, and analyze it. At the end of the day, we can agree to disagree, but you cannot dispute what you're seeing in front of you. So far, what you've seen here in that video by the bodega, you see people, let me give you a clue. Rule of thumb for me. Any neighborhood I go to and I hear the people, they refer to the store as a bodega. Clue number one for me not to move there. You see? That's clue number one. Because that means those shootings that you've seen, that's what's bound to happen there. But that was just video number one. I will pause and allow you all to see these footages. And you would also see how the Juneteenth celebration kicks off. I mean, I know you're wondering, what is the Juneteenth? Anyways, the Juneteenth is about this holiday that they just came up with. Apparently, different stories. They said it was back in 1865, 3 slaves didn't get the information. But now this story keeps changing, right? So they turn it into a holiday. The blacks wanted reparation, but the Democrats gave them, they said, you know what, we'll give you Juneteenth. People, can you imagine you missing your flight? And then they're like, hey, you didn't know it was 6 o'clock, but you know what? Even though it's 8 o'clock, we got another flight for you. Why would you want to celebrate that for, forever? But I tell you what, a few years from now, I guarantee you, these same people, because this story keeps changing, I'm telling you right now, a few years from now, they're going to tell kids, hey, guess what, kids? Those slaves, because they didn't have Obama phones, I guarantee you. Because the Tulsa riot now is called the Tulsa Massacre. So they keep changing things. You see what I'm saying? But at the Afridamus report, we don't change things around here. We stick with the facts. So let me give you this footage so that you guys can have a real context of what is going to be talked about here today.
Reversed. Safety produces activity. Activity is not going to produce safety. We have to make the place so safe people want to come and visit and enjoy it.
Well, Mayor de Blasio told me today he is convinced that the same policing strategies.
The least you can do is hit that like button. It's free. So whether you're going to hit down or up, but just hit it. Share. I'm not going to ask you for too much. Just hit the like so that you can bring the other people in, so that they don't miss out on this information that I'm sharing here.
Drove crime down before the pandemic will work after the pandemic. He continues to insist it is only a matter of time.
Details on a chaotic mass shooting at Oakland's Lake Merritt that sent huge crowds scrambling for cover. Oakland police say that.
So this next shooting, the one you just saw, that's from New York. The people outside the bodega, they call it store. So these people, you clearly see them at close proximity. You know, they shot each other, bang, bang, bang. We don't know why they did it. Maybe it was because the sun was just out. But one thing I know for sure, they can't say it's because of racism or sexism or white supremacism. They cannot point, because I don't see any white person in that video. So it's summertime, right? I know some are not going to like my analysis of it, but I'm here to do a public service. So therefore, I have to do my job right.
1,000 people were hanging out on Lakeshore Avenue when gunfire erupted yesterday evening. One person killed, 6 injured. KPIX5's Don Lynn, live at the scene with the latest details. Stop.
Brian, police have stepped up presence in this area. Very quiet on Lakeshore Avenue today. No big crowds, no big parties, and no vendors. But some witnesses tell me they're still traumatized by what they saw yesterday.
All I saw the gunshot, and it said pop, pop, pop. You know, after they shot the people, then it 3 bullets hit the ground 5 feet away from me, and I was like, oh my God.
This witness is still shaken up. No face. He fears retaliation.
Bam, pop, 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 pop. This guy rode up on a motorcycle, and it was just crazy.
Police arrested 2 men and recovered 2 guns. No motive. Unclear if they were shooting at each other or shooting at another group.
Looking in to see if this is connected to any gangs, groups, specific targets. We don't have those answers right now.
The sounds of gunfire caused panic and hundreds of people to run away, as seen in the surveillance video.
I didn't want to be trampled, so I actually ducked behind the porta potty over there. It was the crowd that was more dangerous at that point. It was a stampede, so to speak.
Some people either jumped or were pushed into the lake to avoid gunshots.
I had me and my baby in here. No, where your baby? He right there.
Police say the mass shooting injured 6 people. They're in stable condition. They range from 16 to 27 years old. A cell phone video shows people helping a woman who was shot.
No, she ain't okay.
If you're just coming in, that was in Oakland, Lake Merritt. Beautiful area. In fact, I've hung out at that lake myself here. Beautiful place. But look at what, Juneteenth celebration brought to the place. Let's continue, because I don't want people to say, oh, the Afridamus report, you're just making it up. Like last week when I was telling people the gas stations to avoid, some of you probably laughed it off. But as you keep watching this video, you would find out how right I am.
Police say a 22-year-old San Francisco man died.
I personally feel like it was 100% avoidable.
Neighbors say thousands of people came to Lakeshore to party, many of them celebrating Juneteenth, even though no official events here. Derek Godfrey says the police should have stepped up present.
When I mentioned Juneteenth, some of you thought I was making it up, didn't you? You heard the man himself. I bet you if the white man didn't say it, some people wouldn't believe it, but you heard it. So, the first official Juneteenth celebration, you're seeing how it's going down. Let's continue here.
The shooting.
It's not a matter of over-policing, it's just the presence. Add some sort of, it is a nice balance.
But some council members have in the past criticized officers for monitoring events put up by people of color. As for this witness, he feels...
So, if you're not familiar with America, so what they do is they confuse the blacks. Sometimes they would tell them, oh, you're black, or sometimes they would say, you're African American. But now I see they call them colored. But you notice, if you are African, these white people that play these games, they don't call you colored because they know they sound ridiculous. I never seen any African from anywhere that goes around telling people, oh, I am colored, but you see black people doing that. So they play these mind games with them. This is how they come up with black and brown. But as you can see in these videos, it is not a color issue. It is a moral and spiritual issue. It is a character issue. Because people are just standing there, right? You would think rational and moral people would not be firing upon each other like that. No civilized society would celebrate summer like that. But these are just simple examples of how disputes or whatever the case may be are handled, on the other side of town. But now, are these white people, the news media, are they being hypocritical by not reporting the true news to the blacks and everybody? I can see why many blacks would sometimes be confused, but I think they pretend, because these videos that I'm showing here, I don't know any black who isn't aware that this is what summer is like in these neighborhoods. And now they said, oh, we want to defund the police. The police are the problem. The white people are the problem. But now, when we see a lot of police, that stops this type of behavior. When they were doing stop and frisk in New York, the blacks came out and said, oh, you are being racist. You are targeting us. They said, oh, now we don't want to upset the blacks and the browns, because they say black and brown. And in this series of videos that I put together, you're going to see how the black and browns greet each other. You will see that as well. So they said, oh, the mayor is being racist. Think about these people. If they pass laws and I understand back in the days, many years ago, they make laws to target black people. But let's speak of right now, 2021. They said stop and frisk is racist. They want to defund the police. They stop it. Oh, did you guys remember? You can go back and look at tapes. There weren't people standing around bodegas, shooting at each other like it's just regular summer. No, because the cops were stopping people, frisking them. I guarantee you, Afridamus right here myself, I won't be walking down the street and the police come and stop me. You see, because I don't give up that type of vibes. But if you're around areas where this type of things happen, why would you be surprised if you're stopped? Oh yeah, call me what you want or think what you want. I go out of my way to avoid places like this. And in fact, as this broadcast continues, when I show you the other side of town, where, summer attracts people like myself, you'll understand. And maybe, just maybe, the news have been hiding these places from you. This might sound normal to some people, but imagine, there are black people that come on the internet here. They want to shame Africans for coming to America for good life. And they say, oh, you don't want to associate with us. It was the U.S. Embassy that tell the black Africans, do not associate with blacks. Sorry, blacks. We don't need anybody to tell us. We got eyes too. We can see what's going on. We don't need anyone to tell us who to be around or not to be around. In fact, I will show you some of the footages, and it would prove to you that people got eyes. Oh yeah. Like it says, it's not all blacks. So if you're not living that life, no need to come here and try to defend it. In fact, if you try to defend it, argue with the tape. Because people can say, oh, it was the white man hiding in the corner, manipulating the tape, trying to make the blacks look bad. Oh, no. This is from the bodega. You see? This is why when I hear people use those terms, bodega, or if the place is Martin Luther King Jr. Street, oh no. I told you guys the last time, the only exception why you should stop and get gas on Martin Luther King South is if you see white women jogging by with their dogs. That means it's safe. It means the police response is quick, and you don't see people hanging around those gas stations. Because once you see the white woman jogging by, that means there's a Starbucks close by, there's a Whole Foods, there's a PCC. That means there's cops patrolling, you see. But you don't want to find yourself in a situation where, you delude yourself and say, oh, I'm black too. They're not going to do this to me. But look at who the victims are and the perpetrators. I'm just here to wake you up to reality. Because I've heard many of you give, different excuses and try to base everything on skin color. But this isn't about that. This is about how people spend their summers. And it is totally okay to do it the way that's not gonna put people in danger. You see? That's what I believe in. And I know you that's watching me believes in the same thing. Let's see the rest of this.
Father's Day, thankful to be alive.
Now, those 6 shooting victims in stable condition, were they the intended targets or just caught in the middle?
Right. Oakland police say one victim was a vendor just selling stuff. We don't have information about the other 5 victims, but witnesses say it appears most of the victims were just bystanders caught in the crossfire.
In Oakland, that's Dahlin. Thank you.
The Juneteenth shooting is highlighting an alarming trend here in the Bay Area. Mass shootings are on the rise, especially in Oakland. The city has seen 6 this year alone. On June 6th, 5 men were shot at a family gathering in East Oakland. Before that, the VTA shooting rocked the South Bay. And 2 weeks prior, gunmen opened fire on a party bus in Oakland, killing 2 teens and wounding 6 women. Between May 8th and January 21st, Oakland saw 3 more mass shootings that left a total of 13 people wounded and 1 person dead. New video of a wild night at Lake Merritt. Once the sun went down and families left the Juneteenth celebrations, dozens came out to watch this sideshow. Cars spinning donuts dangerously close to cheering spectators. Oakland police arrested at least 1 person and towed 1 vehicle.
Tonight, Chicago police are looking for a group of people who attacked and killed a man in Humboldt Park shortly after the Puerto Rican Day Parade on Saturday.
His friends say he grew up in the neighborhood.
So you heard that, the Puerto Rican Day Parade. So this is where black and brown comes together. Let's find out how this parade ends up.
Moved because it turned too violent. WGN's Patrick Elwood now live with the latest tonight. Pat.
Terrible, cruel irony there, Ray. Good evening to you, Lourdes, as well. CPD treating this, no doubt about it, with the highest priority, saying they do have some good intel, some good tips, and the mayor weighing in on this tonight as well, saying those who are responsible will be hunted down. The signs read, "Rest in peace," and "You are a beautiful soul, taken too soon." Part of a bigger display of remembrance for Giovanni Arzuaga, killed Saturday night. Sean knew him well.
This was my homie. He was more than just a friend. I looked at him as like a big brother.
City cameras capturing the crime that started with a minor traffic accident. The car, Arzuaga and his companion and mother of their 2 children.
I want you guys to take a close look at this video and see what is happening here. And you'll see if a new immigrant to America needs anyone from the embassy or anywhere to tell them about where to move to or where not to move to.
Rushed by a group would then proceed to pull her out from behind the wheel. Things quickly go from bad to worse. And while detectives were back in the neighborhood tonight, their boss, Chief of Detectives, Brendan Denahan, described the chain of events earlier today.
They are seen hitting and beating the woman who's the driver of the vehicle and then eventually dragging her out. What the video doesn't show is there was a shot discharged at some point, and you can't see it in the video, and it appears when the female gets struck. And then the male comes out, and he's almost on top of her. And then you see that second suspect clearly just holding a gun, shooting him in the head, almost execution style.
The ambush takes place at the intersection of Division and Spalding, in only hours after the Puerto Rican Day Parade, held in the same area. The mayor today calling what happened horrific.
It wasn't just one person, but there were others who were standing by, who dragged that poor woman out of the car.
So, get a clue here. This mayor that's pretending to condemn this is the same mayor talking about, she's defunding the police. You see? So everyone comes out. So think about it. Ask yourself this question. Would you consider a group of people or anyone, a friend, who would never tell you the truth, who will never correct you? The only thing they want to promote when it comes to you is destruction. But anyone that disagrees with that destruction is considered a hater. Yes, they say black and brown. These people came out, they said they're having Puerto Rican Day Parade. It is summertime. So the reason why I'm bringing these examples, I've heard some people have on platforms arguing with Africans who do not live in the United States. When those people reference these things, they say, oh, you guys are, they're lying to you. Black people are very loving, peaceful people. They will never do this type of things. Well, you can trust your lying eyes or their lying mouths. It's all up to you. I just know I'm doing my service. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. Don't just watch. It only gets better as we go.
The man who was killed literally used his body as a shield, and he paid for that with his life. It's a horrific statement. It's a horrific statement.
Did you guys see that shooting? That was execution style. Close range. You should ask yourself, what type of hatred would make someone do such a thing? But you see, they're not going to call it that. They're not going to call it that because they don't want the behavior to stop. But then people that point it out, they call those people haters. You should just go for it. You see? So this is why I have to come out here and give this public service to you that is watching me right now. Because I get it. The argument that those people were bringing to the Africans who don't live in America, it was very misleading. But now they're going to tell these people, oh, these areas are loving, it's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. So you show up not knowing, bang, bang, bang. You wake up one day and say, oh, let me go to the bodega. You show up, new African, you're pretty, you're nice. Oh, hello, sir. How are you doing? And you see people standing there in the corner. Hey, sir, how are you? Bang, bang, bang. It's over. Oh, keep watching. You're going to learn a lot here today because as this video continues, you will also learn what not to do when you have nice, expensive valuables.
Those men who are involved in that. I don't believe that they are typical by any stretch of young black men in the city, but it's horrific nonetheless.
Late this afternoon.
So, she said it's not typical of the young black men there. So every weekend, all the shootings that take place, all the people that are getting gunned down, all those children, who's doing those shootings? You see, this mayor is dishonest. She's a criminal. In many countries, she would be arrested and taken out of office. But, you know, here in America, they're going to say, oh, she's black. Even though people are seeing how incompetent she is, you know, they're going to say, oh, no, she's black. And gay on top of that, now she's even saying, oh, I'm not going to give interviews to anyone who isn't black. Oh, now, because they keep making it, oh, indigenous. You know, they talk about stuff like that. So you, the new person in America, or coming to America, I don't want you to get caught up in all these shenanigans. This is why you have to share this video with your friends and family. You don't want to get caught up in all these isms, sexism, racism, Islamophobism, deadbeat dadism, Afrophobism, you know, all these isms. You don't want to get caught up in it because it blinds you from the truth that's looking you dead in the eye. Can you imagine you being a refugee from, let's say, what country is hot right now? Sudan, somewhere, you know, in one of those warring countries. And you got these people, they are doing the same thing. Bang, bang, bang. Shooting at each other 24/7, killing people, injuring people. You run away from that. But now they're convincing you, trying to tell you, oh no, this is, if you talk about it, that's hateful. Oh, it is not black people doing it. Do you think I care about the color of the person shooting? Nah, bullet is bullet. I don't. You see what I'm saying? And you shouldn't neither, because it doesn't make sense. You know, you can call it what you want, because those people that ran away from whatever country, the people look just like them. You made a rational decision to move to America. But now, America does have war zones as well. So this is how they celebrate summer, in these war zones. You can call it what you want, but that's what they are. Because this person, this individual that got shot, in fact, he left that neighborhood, according to the friend, for better life. And you see this all the time. But one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of these people make is they always try to go back there. Sometimes you gotta leave some people behind and don't feel guilty about it. Hey, let me tell you, I used to live in Africa, in Gambia. I would hang out with my friends under the tree and stuff. If I was getting caught up into that and believing those people's, their fantasy, their silly dreams, I would still be sitting there under the mango tree, just talking nonsense. Things I don't know about, breathing in all that dust. I won't be living this great, wonderful American life and broadcasting, this, real news to all of you. The media, the so-called media, CNN and all those people, they are not doing their job. They're not doing their service. And suddenly, you, the new immigrant, wherever you're coming from, or if you live in the suburbs, no one is breaking it down to you, to the teeth. I used to be you. Many years ago, I used to be you. But I made it my job to learn and understand what is happening. It wasn't based in color. No, it's based in what I'm observing, what I'm seeing. So yeah, you can allow yourself to be shamed into moving to a neighborhood where they call bodega or refuse to work harder so that you can afford not to live in a neighborhood where they use the word bodega. You know, it's all up to you. Look at all these popular, American rappers, black American rappers who say, oh, they made it. There's a lot of them you hear about how they are getting killed as well because they want to prove to the people that either, oh, I'm down with the hood, you see? But then the hood comes back and take their lives. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with you, the African, where there's, look, you guys, for example, some African communities, some people, they would tell you, oh, these people, they practice black magic and stuff like that. They don't want to go back there. But you, that's not part of their life. You want to judge them. So the people on the internet that are telling you, oh no, this place is safe, they don't live there. I hope you know that. They do not live there. They live way far away from these places. If you don't believe me, look at how stable their internet service is. That only happens on the other side of town.
Friend came to pay tribute to Giovanni. Sean says he had moved out of this neighborhood to escape the violence and just came back to visit Saturday night.
And he was just a real nice dude. Like, we even lived next to each other. You wouldn't expect this to happen to him, especially living out in Schaumburg area.
Is that where he's from?
Yeah, no, he's from over here. His parents live over here, but we all moved back that way to, have a better life.
Moved back there, came back there to visit, moved to Schaumburg for a better life, Sean says. The 25-year-old companion who was with him last listed in critical condition. We're live at the police station at Belmont and Western. Patrick Elwood, WGN News, Lourdes and Ray, back to you in the studio.
Okay, I will take it. Thank you, Patrick. An infant hurt.
Tonight, Chicago police tell us several of those people who were shot in the early morning mass shooting in Englewood were shot in the head. At least 3 of them are being treated here at University of Chicago, and their families are desperately hoping they'll pull through.
Tonight, 4 Chicago families are gutted with grief. Each of them is missing someone who brought so much joy. Her family says Denise Mathis has 5 children whom she adored.
So you guys have seen the pictures of the victim, right? They are all black, done by other blacks. And people are not talking about this. There's no GoFundMe, there's no marches, no BLM, nowhere to be found. But they want you to believe that white police are out there hunting down blacks. But you see these videos. These videos are telling you otherwise. The videos are telling you otherwise. Trust your eyes. Get out of your feelings. If you were in Liberia and that fire started with Charles Taylor going bang, bang, you packed up your stuff and you bounced. So, same logic. Same logic. You don't need to waste your time trying to defend it. Hey, if you want to defend this, if you want me to believe that you believe in what you're saying, by all means, move there, move over there. But if you're, in snowflake suburbs, you're sitting in your internet, drinking your cold drink, and you're getting pissed off at the Afridamus report for speaking the truth, that's on you. In fact, I don't take you seriously. I would only take you seriously if you live there. Yeah, I would know you are all about that life. And if you're all about that life, the cool thing about America, what makes America the greatest country on this side of heaven, if you want to be a thug, you can move to Southside Chicago, Baltimore, one of these black areas, and start shooting other people, or you get shot at. You could do that. But if you also want to experience the other America, oh yeah, most definitely. You can do that as well. In fact, I have a video here. Once this one is over, I will show you what summer looks like on the other side. I didn't need the footage from the news. I went in myself and shot these videos. That's what the budget allows and the safety around it. So you'll understand once you see that video.
For them to just take their mama away from them, that really hurts me.
And Blake Lee, friends say, was the young mother's best friend. Both of them, family and friends say, were killed in an early morning mass shooting inside an Englewood home. Shermitria Williams' dad says today was supposed to be her celebration.
She's supposed to graduate today.
The 19-year-old mother didn't get the chance. Her family says she was one of the 8 people shot as police say bullets ravaged the inside of this home. But Williams' family doesn't know much more than that. They came to the chaotic scene in a panic.
I'm still praying that she is still with me because I literally cannot picture a life without her.
The medical examiner's office says Retanya Rogers was one of 4 people killed. Friends say this is the young woman, now another victim.
I mean, everybody got shot, everybody.
Neighbors tell us the home was a social spot and there may have been a party the night before. But in that early morning hour.
Doesn't this sound like one of those where it's like Halloween? Candy for you, everybody got candy. But instead, you got bullets. That's what it sounds like. Everybody got shot. I don't want to be around that.
Shots were heard. The victims were believed to have been sleeping. People who live nearby say they've been traumatized and terrorized.
Why do we have to keep on killing each other?
Tonight, both investigators...
This lady asked a good question. That's right. Why do you all need to be killing each other? You don't need to do that.
Family members of some of the victims are still trying to figure out exactly what caused this shooting. As with so many shootings, police don't have anyone in custody, but they believe somebody on the block saw something and they want them to call investigators.
Yeah, thieves target a man because of the gold chain he was wearing. Tonight he's talking with...
People, this is another good story. You guys remember I put a lot of emphasis on the gas station. If you don't see white women jogging by with their dogs, don't stop. You guys thought I was crazy, right? Here's a story of a man who he won the lotto, 30,000 American dollars, not Liberian dollars or pesos. I said American dollar, the one that you look at and it says, "In God we trust." Yes, that dollar with the pyramid behind it. But watch and learn what not to do when you win that type of money. First of all, this man, what he should have done is the opposite of what he did. But I don't want to spoil this for you because you might think I'm trying to skew your mind. But watch it for yourself and tell me what you think.
Hamplin, who joins us from the scene with the night cam. Tim.
It was a typical afternoon here at this West Warren gas station in Detroit near Grand Boulevard. Customers coming in, filling up with gas, buying lottery tickets. It was a favorite spot for our victim, Jamal.
Thanks, Lee.
Customer walks in, shakes his hand, a couple more customers behind. The guy in the black, pay close attention to him. And his buddy, right behind. They're looking for some easy pickings, and Jamal is their target.
You guys heard it. So Jamal won. Now, did you guys see? Did you guys see any white supremacy walking around Jamal? You know, like hungry hyenas and vultures. You know how like they are looking for the carcass. So Jamal here choose to not only avoid the gas station. See, first of all, you don't go back to the gas station where you won the ticket at. See, this is the number one mistake Jamal made. Because guess what? That cashier is going to be telling everybody that now, Jamal, you won. So when Jamal won this money, this was signed for him to put that place in his memory. Move to an area where they have Whole Foods, PCC, Trader Joe's, Starbucks. You see, this kind of stuff doesn't happen around there. Trust me, I know this. I know this.
I hit the lottery. Jamal won $30,000 on the Michigan lottery, bought himself a $20,000 necklace. You see, he's wearing it there. He's heard of people getting robbed for their jewelry.
Yeah.
God, this made me laugh. Yeah. Jamal won $30,000 and he took 20 of the 30 and bought a gold chain. Talk about bling bling. Are you kidding me? Yeah, he totally spent $20,000 on bling bling. And then he wore the bling bling and he went to the gas station, the same gas station where he won. This man did not take the time to spend money on, getting a trainer, to fix that body. Oh no, he wants to go back to the same gas station, with $20,000 worth of gold chain. You see. So let's find out what happened to Jamal's gold chain. And take a look at the video. You're going to see how this white supremacist attacked Jamal. Watch.
So I was just looking around, making sure nobody ain't trying to get my chain,
But they did get his chain. He walks out the store. The suspects were waiting.
So I ran back, tried to get back into the gas station. They had grabbed me, tackled me down.
Did you guys see? Jamal can barely run. How can you put that much money around your neck and you don't have any means of protecting it? You see, if I were ever dumb enough to put that around my neck, oh yeah, you can dream about getting it off my neck, but it's not going to happen like it happened with Jamal. That I can guarantee you. That's a guarantee. If you see that around me, that's a sign that stay clear. Because Jamal, instead of, making sure, look at the guy. He can't even run. And those black women in there, they didn't help him. But you see, I don't expect them to help him. Because, you see, those are the same people that come on the internet and they start instigating stuff, talking about how tough and strong they are, how independent they are. But when Jamal start crying to them, you guys, I don't have to tell you. Let me just play the rest of the video.
Particularly vicious attack, punching him, kicking him, getting him to the ground, ripping off his gold.
They took off running and jumped in their car and took off down Warren.
The gas station owner says he recognized that tall guy in that black top a few months back.
They ran to their Chevy Impala. Yeah, back in the days, I used to have a Impala like that when I was in my black days. I drive black. I go to the chicken spot and everything. But the story is, the reason why I'm bringing this story to you is to collaborate exactly what I told you the other week, that you shouldn't be going to these gas stations. You guys thought I was lying, didn't you? You guys as seeing what just happened to Jamal. Oh yes, Jamal's investment is stupid, but let's be honest. Is it, does he deserve that? He didn't deserve it. Yeah, I mean, he spent all that money on it, but hey, he should have had the right to enjoy it, but he was in the wrong part of town.
Yo, yeah, Detroit move around different. They moving around different in Detroit. Speaking.
All right, guys. You guys have seen what happened, what summertime is like on the other side of town, right? So now I'm going to take you to a different part of town. Let's see how white people celebrate, kick off summer, kick back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was what summer looks like. And now we're going to have the Fang. Oh, Fang was just in the back. Fang, hit the link back here so we can have discussion on... okay, here's the Fang. Fang, can you hear me? Okay, here, Fang, I'm going to drop this link for you, just for you. Hit it. I'm going to put it in the chat here. So people, don't hit this link. It's just for the Fang, because she's the guest. All right. Oh, there she is. Fang, thank you
for the late.
hey, no problem. In fact, I wanted to give you the time to be able to watch what I was playing. Did you have the time to watch the news?
No, I couldn't because I just like studying my thing. So more or less, I don't know. I just watched something about the lottery, but that's it. Because when I was joining,
yes,
what's going on at all?
Well, Fang, thank you for accepting this invitation. I know we had our interview before, but somehow it didn't. Some things, it didn't go well. But we put that behind us, and we just talk on the topics. I like that you accepted it. So, Fang, tell the people about, who you are.
Who I am. So most of them knows me because they come mostly from my channel, so they know who I am. I am from Equatorial Guinea. I am a Fang. My parents are Fang. We are people of strong characters, a strong mind. So it's like we very friendly people, but we are not people that we accept things just because we supposed to be those, like that. Yeah. So inside, we do warrior likes. Outside, we are friendly.
You know, Fang, I like that you bring that point in, because
That's it.
I watched the video, a stream session where you were, and in that stream, I have to say,
can you hear me?
oh yes, I can hear you. You're frozen. Are you? Can you? Okay, there you are. You're doing good. You're doing good. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes,
So
I can.
So you came on that stream, and you started explaining to these people who were arguing that they have the right to tell Africans about how they should run Africa, how they should think, but you said they don't have the right to speak on Africa because they are not Africans. And which I agree with your position, but some people are accusing you of hating Black Americans. Do you hate Black Americans?
Oh, is it going to be this way? Because I don't hate Black Americans. I'm very straight because you had a lot of things also against them, even with ethnicity, because you started with a mix of my childhood.
Right.
So then you're trying to agree with him in situations. Look at this. What is hate? What hate means? Because if you learn something from me, that means that I hate or that you hate me.
No. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you on that point. So the fight that you are in, because I see every time you're consistent on what you say. You never move your position. So this argument that Black Americans are putting forth, saying that, African people are weak people, is this true?
Who says so?
A lot of the guys on the internet. Because they show video, they say Chinese guy was fighting African guy. The way they analyze it is not even, it didn't go that way. But even the narrative is out there. And so are African people weak people, or they are just being nice? Which one is it?
What you are?
No, because they are saying us Africans were weak. They're saying we're weak.
So, it's okay, you're an African. What is your point there?
No, I'm saying, no. It's not about being weak. It's about being friendly to people. You see?
Yeah.
Because the confusion is, right? For example, if you come to my home in Gambia, I would be nice to you. I would invite you. I would treat you like my guest. But I wouldn't allow you to tell me what to do, you see. But now, Black Americans, they call themselves Africans. They want to, connect with African culture. But this culture here, what they call African American culture, Black culture, compared to ours, where we respect the guests and all. Not all, but most, they're very aggressive, as you can see how they tell you what you can or cannot say. Do you think, despite Africans, how people are so nice over there, do you think these people bring in this type of attitude? If the people catch on, what do you think that would end up like? You being a Fang, for example, if the people can hear what they are saying.
War, 100% war, because obviously we African, we are friendly, and obviously every country is supposed to be friendly, yeah? When somebody comes from outside, not everybody is the same. But African, we're friendly people from the outside, so we don't like to go at war for nothing.
Right.
But we don't like individuals, doesn't matter how they look like, to come to us to tell us what to do. So because obviously you are a Sonicare, yeah? You Sonicare?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And then you have your own caste systems, as fans, we have our own caste systems.
Right.
Yeah, and then somebody coming because it's Black, saying it's African. So this narrative, I think, has to stop, first of all. Yeah, because we go for our caste system, our families. And then if this guy was beaten by this Chinese person, why was beaten? What was the reason why? Because,
right.
a simple image cannot tell you the whole truth.
Yes.
Yeah?
This is true. You are absolutely correct, because I saw where some people, they said they're analyzing it, but the understanding, because they said the other Africans should have jumped in and beat that Chinese guy. Do you see how? Don't you see that as something a weak person would think about? One little Chinese for all these big Africans to jump in and beat them? I don't know about the Fangs, but where I'm from, we won't do that, you see? And, you know, you're laughing because I know the Fangs probably would not do the same thing. You see? We would want to find out what happened first. So, you know, what would you say to that? Because the other day you were trying to make this point across, but they wouldn't allow you to speak on it. You were talking about what the OAU said about, you know, African Americans, their position, and what they are telling themselves. Can you explain that here? What the OAU referred to them as? Do they see them as citizens, or do they see them as friends? Tell us.
So let me know with life first of all, because now I don't know with life.
Oh yeah, well, I've
or
seen you.
life.
Yeah, I know. The one I saw was, you know, I saw you on Mr. Uganda's live, but this part here you didn't say that on there. You said that on another live, but on Mr. Uganda, you were talking to remember the lady? You and one lady got into it. She was upset.
There were two ladies. There was.
And you remember you remember when that lady came and said, the American authorities, they tell African immigrants not to mix with black immigrants, black people.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm here to say that's a complete lie. I've heard people say, because I immigrated here and I went all the way through to becoming a citizen in the process. Do you understand how much legal issues that would be for the U.S. government? Because the U.S. government is not only white people. There's a lot of black people. Did you see the mayor? I just showed Chicago. The mayor is black, female, and a lesbian on top of that, right? All those shootings, that I was showing it because you were talking about things that are related to this, even though you didn't even see the video. But the people were trying to dispute what you were saying.
Yeah, normally black American, they're trying to dispute everything African said. And then Mr. Uganda is weak. He's a weak person. That's why I'm not rocking with him anymore. So I'm telling this because it's like this. He's in a position that he cannot be a savior of Africans. He cannot, because he's allowing these people to control his channel and to control what he's thinking. I'm not controlling you. I'm telling you the truth. I'll let you speak, but don't try to control me on my channel like that, yeah? But in the end, we all Africans, and we are here to fight for us in general, yeah? So, and then when you allow these people to come to your channel, yeah, to tell you that things are happening this way, when you know it's not true, and these people allowing them to tell these lies in their channel, on their channels, this is a big problem for us. Yeah, because it's like are we here really for saying trying to stop these lies from us, or are we trying just to have views, or what are we trying to do here on these channels on YouTube? Yeah, because children are coming. People that are right now 16 in 2 years going to be 18 and are going to come to our lives, and then they're going to start seeing what we're doing.
Right,
yeah?
right.
It's very, very important. And there is a lie. It's a lie that the U.S. government is saying so. It's just not about, there are only white or black people or a lot of backgrounds in there. Because in the end, the government is when allows a person to go to another country, is because they have agreements. And then in this case, it's like, okay, we accept you because not everybody can go, not everybody is accepted by the visa.
Right.
So yes, okay, you go. And you do your things. Nobody is telling you not to go to certain areas because that is not politically well seen.
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah, and another thing also, a topic that came up. I watched another video. I mean, you weren't in this video, but I will bring the topic to you anyways and pick your brain, see what you think. So there was a black American woman and a guy. They were proposing the idea that they want African countries to give them reparation, that African countries owe them lands. We should give them reparation. So you being from Equatorial Guinea, what do you think that type of talk, where do you think it would go?
So reparations, African
Reparation.
Americans asking for reparations to,
Yes.
to which country?
She was talking about Ghana and Ghana and other countries. So what do you think about that idea?
Ghana. So what's asking these African American people asking reparation from Ghana? No, it's not going to happen. Africa is not going to give reparation to nobody. Because in my viewpoint, I'm not just talking about Ghana, my viewpoint as a person, it doesn't matter if I'm a fan, whatever, it's my view or my viewpoint, my own opinion.
Right.
So look at this. If somebody is just seeking for reparation from Africa, say, okay, why do you want the reparation for? Because your ancestors were slavery. Okay. So as me, my own opinion, me, myself, and I, so I say, okay, how did you end up into slavery, first of all? Can you tell me exactly that you are the person that ended up into slavery? Are you the person that was sold into slavery? Are you the one? We're going to start there.
These are good questions. Because, Fang, another thing that the woman got upset at you at is because you said you are tired of hearing African Americans making themselves into victims. You remember that?
Yeah, oh no, I'm tired of that. I'm saying that always. Every single person that comes to my channel knows that. I'm still tired of that victim mindset. Because that is what is calling them down.
So African Fang, do you think all these things that black people talk about, being victimized and all, do you think, because I think maybe they believe that this is only happened to them or happening to them. Can you explain to them that this is not only their problem? In fact, in America.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. You're frozen, but I can hear you. In fact, oh, there you are. In fact, here in America, all this stuff, most of this you're hearing, these are made up problems. In the first world, America is so good, people have to make up problems. I even see white women walking around talking about they are oppressed. They said they are oppressed. You see? So this is why those videos I was playing to show Summer on different sides of town. Who is oppressing black people? Because I see black people shooting black people. Have you ever seen videos like this before? So, about slavery. How do you feel about that story?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay. It's like this, what you are using, I don't know, it's not the same as the live stream. Sorry, as the stream yard, it's like it's different.
Right. Yeah, this other one, it's a different one. It's the better kind, Right.
Yeah. So look at this. What can I say about this? So because I couldn't hear you at all. So
let me repeat it. Let me help you. And the reason why I'm asking you this, African Fang, I totally agree with you. Because the fact of the matter is, when somebody is always projecting victimhood, I can see how you and anybody else can say, I'm tired of hearing this. Because you say it's white people. Now it's African, it's Chinese. So everybody is oppressing you. So how do we even respond to these stories? How do we even respond?
Yeah, it's a problem. It's like the Black Americans, they have their mind just amended as what they want it to be. So you cannot tell them this because they have already their mindset, yeah,
You're right.
prepared, cooked,
Mhm.
yes, there. So it's very difficult, for them to see outside the paradigm. So because this paradigm that they have already is the one is allowing them to grow
Right.
outside.
Mm-hmm. And
So then, yeah.
and they create situations where they make other people scared to tell them the truth, because what you said earlier, I totally respect that, which is young kids are gonna come and see this, and you have to stand up for something. But I see a lot of these Africans who go on these platforms, they just go along with these stories. You see? What type of damage do you foresee coming if all of us, play that game, like the Kumbaya game, to try to just go along with lies?
Obviously, bad one. That's why I say my African people, not to go alongside that mindset of African American, because it's destructive. It's going to destroy us. Just look at them. Look at us in Africa. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of things, but we still having a culture that we go in a way that is very different. Yeah, meaning that we go to achieve goals to try to amend our lives. These people, they have everything there. And they are destroying their own selves.
That's
so
right.
They try to come to us to tell us that is the way we're supposed to live. Excuse me, that is not right. That is not good for us. So if really they want to go further, they have to follow us, not us to them.
Right.
Because you see what happened always when we go with them, alongside them. You know what happened.
Oh,
Unless they
speaking
follow
of which, you're absolutely correct. In fact, I've said this in other videos. I've seen Africans who they think they are black. They would go live in the black neighborhoods. You know what happened to them? Bad news. I have a cousin that used to live here in the United States. He opened a store in a black area. So some black people came to him and said, "You have to pay us." He said, "For what?" They call it protection. He said,
mafia.
Yeah, he said he's not gonna pay. You know what they did? That very night they came. It's like they took a truck and tied like some very heavy stuff on the door and ripped the door. They stole everything, every single thing. My other cousin, you know what happened to him? He was living there. He had this is back in the days. He had a car called Thunderbird. These are good cars in America back in the days. He went, he took his Thunderbird, washed it. It's shiny, sunny day. Because I used to tell them, look, I live in the suburbs. Did you see the other video, the last one I played?
No.
Oh, yeah. By the water with the ships and stuff. I'm not even like, those are the type of places I like to be at. I don't want to worry about shootings, loud noise, people chasing one another, complaining. I don't have time for all that. But my cousin, he parked his car in because he lived in the ghetto at the time. Some guys were sitting there. When he went inside to get ready, by the time he comes out, the kid in his car, like right in his car, they said, F you on your car, N-word. Why? These are the type of things you deal with. But when you talk about it, and I see all these people that come out here, when you say something, they discredit you. But I'm watching, I said, why are these people acting new? Why are they acting new on the African Fang? When she's telling them things I know for a fact is true, because I live here. I see it. You don't need the U.S. Embassy to tell you what is going on. You can see for yourself. These people that are talking on the internet, ask them in real life, are they friends with an African person? And if they say no, ask them why not. Just ask them those questions. They are not going to answer it. But, Mr. Uganda, you were on Mr. Uganda's show, and you mentioned that you think he was pretty weak.
No, he's weak for me. He's weak. So
okay.
I have something with people.
Right.
Yeah, I have vision.
Mm-hmm.
So I can even read people lies. So he's a player. So it's a person I can put my life into.
Right.
I cannot trust my life.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like today is going to be for you, tomorrow for the other. It's like he's in the limbo. He's like he's not going to put himself in the middle to be beaten. Yeah, but he was beaten. I said to him, "You are playing with wolves. They're going to bite you."
That's right.
What happened
That's
to
right.
him? He empowered us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to him and it happened to him. So I'm not lying what I'm saying, because I'm saying always the truth. But these people, they think that being online is to be something.
Right.
So it's like they're playing virtual life.
That's what stood out to me when I heard you say you're tired of hearing people play victim. Because I look at what is, you look at it, you come to America. You could show up, like when I showed up in America, I came with a backpack to go to my school. One backpack. But now look at Afridamus. I've got my studio and everything. You see? Because of hard work. But now, if somebody come to me and say, "Oh, Afridamus, I cannot make it because I'm black," do you think I'm going to listen to you?
I don't listen to those things. I'm sorry, I don't listen. I don't for that. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not going to, but then they give you another argument because the goalpost keeps moving. They say, "Oh, white people treat you different." I'm around white people. White people are not thinking about black people. Newsflash. They don't have, did you see the video I showed? Even me as a black person, I'm not sitting there worried about black people. I'm over there in the water, on the boats, on the canoe, just having a good time. I don't have time to hear people complaining. So when you said it, I could relate with you. I could relate. Because to be able to even help somebody, in America they say, pull yourself by your bootstraps. But if you're talking to a man who didn't even have the boots, at least you have the boot. You just got to go look for the straps. If you want to complain to a man who didn't even have the boot, he has to invent his own boot, then you're just talking blah, blah, blah. You see? If you're in America as a black person, born and raised, you already have an advantage. You don't have to learn the language. You already know the language. You don't have to learn the culture. You are already in this system. You go to school. Like they would say, "Oh, in our schools is bad." You compare those schools to the schools I went to. You see what I'm saying? Here in America, statistics shows black kids are reading at 4th grade level. But white people are blamed for this. And I know pretty soon Africans would be blamed for the same thing. Because our thing is, I know you believe the same thing. Charity begins at home. You have to deal with your own family first. Put your own kids in line. But if you want strangers to tell your kids how they're supposed to live their life, those kids are going to grow up. They think they can go tell other people how they are supposed to live their own lives. You see? And another thing that they deny, because we have to have realistic conversation. I even watch videos where these people, some of them, they can't even help it. They make fun of African. When it says African, it doesn't matter what country. They make fun of African. And they love it when the other Africans, the weak Africans, this is why I'm asking you about all these people. Who is weak and who is standing up? I wanted to see if you are seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. Who is honest and who's not honest?
That for so that this is my channel about, obviously, to expose this victim mindset, because this victim mindset make them do these things. I was yesterday on at Mrs. Hall, And people, yeah, they try me, for example. This is one of the things, how they treat people on their channels, on their panels, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that. It's like one question that I was asking, they say, do you have your own country? Because there was a lot of things, but the things I was trying to put there. Do you have your own country in USA? Do you have a country? They say yes. Which country is USA? USA is not a black country. Is a white country made by white people.
This
That
is
is
true.
not your country.
Mm-hmm.
So then the dollar you have is not even your dollar, is the white man dollar.
This is true.
Anything you have in USA is because of white people, because they exploited not just only black people, they exploited their own too.
Right. This is
So
true.
but these people, they don't want to understand, they don't want to hear. Because they are in that victim mindset that they are something superior, that we are imitating them. What are we imitating? Music? Every single person at some point imitated, because even themselves imitated white music also,
Right.
and then started creating their own music because of these other influences, that came from there. African culture, and the white culture, even Indian or Asian culture, everything mixed. So every single person at some point copies. From another person.
You're absolutely correct about that. Even you look at Japan, China, right? Even Japan, you cannot name a Japanese who invented the cars, but they copied how to do it, the planes and all that. But now, because I see a lot of black people, they come online, they form panels, they say, Africans hate us because they like to put emphasis on hate. Me right here, I have no time to hate anybody. Africans that I know, they're not thinking about black Americans. They have no time to hate anyone, you see? But they always put this word forward, saying that people hate them. But Africans are not even looking for this. And Africans are not the people that send the email and say, hey, they're black Americans. We need your help. Come and rescue us in Africa. You see? You see, that's not what happened. You know this and I know this. You see? But now, before you reach a village, before you even reach your host, and you start insulting your host, in your culture, how do you think that would be like? Before you even reach...
Hey. Hey. Not even your mother. So even if you are fed up with your mother, you don't go to insult your mother.
Right.
You know what I mean? You insult your
Right.
mother privately, not in front of even of your other siblings, you know? So, hey, no way.
You see, let me put this comment up. So there's a guy here, let's see. Sum Dum Guy, you have your own countries. By your logic, what have you done with it? We're doing whatever we want with it. Doesn't he realize that? See, this is the type of argument that the people, they like to bring up to say, okay, first of all, right? If you look at African countries, Black Africa, everything entirely from independence. We did it all by ourselves, you know, by Africans, by our own hands. But now you come to America, the neighborhoods that black people live in are built by white people. You hear black people talk about projects. These are built by white people, you know. I remember when I first came to America, like I would go to black neighborhood, the grass is all dead and green, not green. In the white neighborhood, it is. So I asked some black people, I said, how come the grass is not that good here? They said, the white people are sabotaging the water. I was like, what? So what about the parked cars and all that? So I'm saying, okay, if you are asking us what have we done in our country, at least those things you see, we built those with our own hands. But if white people handed you these projects, not only just saying you got to build it, they built it, the houses and everything, and handed it to the blacks, and the blacks messed it all up. So how can you point fingers at us, you know, saying, what have you done? We built our own stuff. It might not, you know, you might say it's not up to the white people's standard. You can say that all you want, but at least it's ours, right? It belongs.
Exactly.
It belongs to us. And what about this idea that black people believe in that the Chinese, Lebanese, because you know the Bag family, right? They're in Gambia talking about. They see Lebanese. They say, "Oh, these people are oppressing Africans." They talk about Chinese and all. What do you have to say about that? Because any color they see that's not black, they think their relationship with blacks is oppression. But they don't understand that we don't think that way. Can you explain that part?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Because sometimes the signal is breaking. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
So look at this. The first things for these people to understand, because these are adults, if they don't want to reprogram themselves, we cannot do anything for them. The only thing we can do is to help their children. But the problem is like the children are growing with them, you understand? So it's going to be a little bit complicated, yeah? So this is about their own selves. These people, they kind of come to Africa. All of a sudden, China was in Africa 50 more years, even
Yes.
helped us with decolonization. Yeah? So they don't know that Chinese people were there. Lebanese people were there long before the Western media exposed them there.
Yeah.
They didn't even know about that until the media started talking about Chinese, the influence of Chinese right now in Africa. China was there. Chinese people were there. Last year, my country celebrated a 50-year relationship that they have with China. 50 years. And these people, they think that China is just
came.
right now there. Yes.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, when I hear some of them, oh, China is taking over Africa, I was like, man, the Chinese have been like in Gambia since back in the 70s. They've been there, you see. But China, you know, just because it all comes from this victimhood mindset, because they see themselves as victims, so therefore, us that are coming from Africa, you know, they see us, you know, that we want to take the victimhood role. You know why they actually get mad at people like you and I? You know why? Especially me here. I see a lot of it because when you come to America, because they see themselves as the victims. So therefore, you coming from Africa, they look at you like, how dare you not see yourself as victim? We are supposed to be above you. Don't you know that? But no. You're the one that is choosing what you want your life to be like. I'm here to manifest my destiny. That's what I'm...
Exactly.
I'm here to manifest my destiny. So therefore, somebody else, you can manifest whatever destiny you want. And you know, in America, one thing, Fang, the white people, they built the greatest country on this side of heaven. Hands down, America is a great place. You can be a criminal if you want to. They have prisons for you. You can shoot each other like you saw the black people shooting each other. They will let them do it as long as you don't bring that mess over to the white side of town, which is the side I live on, our part of town. No. They don't accept that type of behavior. We don't even see this, you know. So you look at it. If we are not seeing white people shooting blacks, because that's what that lady tried to tell you. I don't know if you remember. She said, this woman coming here talking about black people are shooting at each other. She doesn't know what she's talking about. You know, because you know the video I played, Oakland, that's the place she was talking about. She said it is police shooting at black people. So in that video, if you missed it, you can watch it again. You will see it is black people shooting at black people. It was black people beating up the man, you know, the bling bling man. It was black people beating him down to take his bling bling from him. You see?
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. It's for example, I don't need to see to watch it because I know how they are interacting with their own selves. So I'm reading the text, says the comments also because obviously I have my other phone here. Yeah, I can read the comment. Yes, it's like this girl telling that I'm calm today. I'm very calm, but when people try me, you see the fang. The fang is the so that's why my people were put into slavery because We are very aggressive when people try us. And mostly when you try my people, honey, the fang is inside. It's going to come and it's going to go up for you. Yeah, it's like they don't understand. So even like you, we are different. You are one culture, we are a culture. Our culture is like, okay, if you try to take my thing by force to tell me what to do, you don't try to understand, I'm going to go after you.
Right.
So then don't complain. Yeah. So then these people don't understand this. They are like in one of my lives, one guy came and told that it's the government that is making their communities to be the way they are. And I was saying in my life, oh, excuse me, it's the government that in your house telling you to do that. You are in your house, it's not the government. So when you go outside the street, or something like that, but it's not something similar. When you go in the street, it's the government with you telling you that you have to shoot your black brother. It's not the government, it's you.
Exactly. You know, this is, I'm glad you said that, because another argument they brought there was, they said, the government put crack in our neighborhood. You didn't have to use the crack. Not every black person used it. Not every black person sold it. You see what I'm saying? But it's the lack of responsibility. But the part that I don't understand is, because you know, like black people are obsessed with white people. Because, like I said, I'm around, let me tell you, my part of town. This is an area where you can sit down and order croissant and coffee. You know, you don't have to worry about shootings. You cannot do this in places where they have bodegas and stuff. But, you know, the last thing the only time I hear black talk is on the internet. White people are not talking about this. They don't have time. You know, white people are busy with their own lives, their families. They have their own issues. They are not worried about
Africans.
Exactly like Africans. Because they say, how come the Africans don't come and march with us? Man, why would I be marching? You know, I'll be losing money. I need to make money. You see? I didn't come here to march. What am I marching for? You see? Because I went to a meeting before. Because let me tell you something, African Fang. I was really into this. It's not just talking. I attend meetings. I went to a meeting. It's black meeting. I did investigation. It's about police shooting. But then I got up and they said, does anyone have anything to say? I said, I got up because I'm telling solutions. I said, what I see here is a problem with the way people are raising their children. This starts at home. If your kid doesn't look up to see a man as authority, that's a problem. Because I was speaking from a point of somebody who's coming from a law enforcement background with experience. Because I've dealt with a lot of these blacks out there, and they don't respect authority, especially if you're black, because they are not used to taking authority from a black man. So I got up and said this. I said, to solve this issue, tell your children they don't need to go out there to try to fight with the police. They don't have to shoot at people. But you know what, African Fang? You think they would clap for me, to thank me? No. They didn't thank me. You would think they would say, oh my God, this Afridamos is so honest. Let us clap for this man. No. One woman, she did not even allow me to finish yet. She was wearing a suit and a pant like a man. She got up. She said, oh, I'm sick and tired of these Africans coming here lecturing us. I said, ma'am, I am not here to lecture you. I am here to diagnose the problem. You know, we're looking for the solution. And then another woman got up. She's a half-breed, you know. She's a African. Her father is Nigerian. So she said, you know, she said, this man is speaking truth. What he is saying is the truth. This is how my father speaks too. But you see, they are saying we have to form an alliance with them. But how can we form an alliance when we believe in structure? We believe in respect, morals. But you're saying we cannot enforce that. We have to listen to you. But we are seeing what you are producing. Is that a fair thing to say? Because we cannot, you know, we are not copying, because because we're not copying what black people are doing in America. Besides music, we're not copying anything. Can you name one thing we're copying? I can't think of one.
Yeah, we're not copying because everybody is doing the same thing everywhere. We are not copying anybody. So this is we African. We don't go there to be with them. We go there to have a better life.
That's
mostly,
right.
or for our own studies. Yeah, to improve ourselves much better if we can. That we can do that also in Africa. But the people that we choose to be abroad is because we want to. Or some of us we were forced because we were children. You don't have this.
Right.
Well, you have to go with your parents sometimes. Yeah. So then to go to alongside with them, how they behave, that is not going to help us. That is
Exactly.
going to destroy us.
Because that's what I'm saying. When you move somewhere, African Fang, as a stranger, you are able to see exactly what is happening, right? So if an area is good or bad, nobody has to convince you of that. You can see what is happening. You're not going to care what color of people are doing what. If they are not doing good stuff, like for example, they would say, oh, somebody like me, you hate Africans. No, I'm African. Everybody in my family is African. Or they will say, you hate Africans. No, I'm from the black factory, which is Africa. So if just because you don't want to hear the truth doesn't mean it's hateful. And that's the thing. Another thing I talk about, I said no isms. It's about either good or evil. Do you agree with that? It's either good or bad. Because when you put an ism on it, it just makes it a wider thing. You don't really know what the problem is. You cannot exactly diagnose it. But if you can diagnose it and call it what it is, evil, that eliminates all these isms. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because that's how in Africa, that's how we do it. Imagine you telling your father, because you failed, you said you failed school. Oh, father, because it's racism. Imagine that. Your father is going to be like, excuse me? It's not going to go well. I cannot imagine me being here in America, picking up the phone, calling my people. They said, hey, Afridamus, can you hook us up with some money? And I'm like, oh man, I can't go out. I'm scared of the white people, the police. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's the problem.
Just imagine that. You see how that made you laugh? And they would tell me, hey, Afridamus, if the white people are that evil, why don't you just pack your bags and come and move back to Africa? That's what they will tell you, you see? But now they want to shame people for not going along with this victimhood mindset. And, African Fang, to be fair to the blacks, this is not only the blacks. There's a lot of Africans also that have this victimhood mindset. This is why they connect with the blacks so much. But the blacks use them as the bidding board. They bring them in, to tell them about, all this nonsense talking about Africans owe us reparation. What are you doing talking about collecting reparations from Africa when you live in the richest country the world has ever seen? You see what I'm saying? This doesn't make any kind of sense. Let me read this comment here. This guy says he knows nothing about America and its history. Whoever you are, I can teach you American history. The reason why he is triggered is because he knows I know America in and out. You see, Fang, I'm not just talking. Fang, I used to work as a corrections officer. The best place to learn about a country, especially a big country as advanced as America, where the media, the people, they go out of their way to hide things, work in their prisons. That's when you would learn the true American culture, because they cannot hide the behavior of their people. You see, it's not about color. There's messed up white people in the prison. Like, the prison I worked at, right? There is way more white people than blacks, but blacks are the second majority, followed by the brown people, the Hispanics. You see what I'm saying? And when you meet, when I worked in it for almost 8 years. Do you know how many black people I've met who said they locked them up because of racism? I can count on my hand how many said that. 0. Because I have access to the file. I'm reading the file, and I would have honest conversation. So if you want to see how the society they raise their children, go work in their prison. Go work in their prison. You would see the
That's
true
a problem.
Yeah, you would see the true behavior of that society. You would see how the criminal mind of that society acts. And you have to ask yourself, who is raising these people? Who is raising these people? Now, the news, nobody's talking about this. Now they even want to shame Africans about speaking the truth. Because first of all, hey, you can live your life, but don't tell me I have to live the way you live. You see? So that's where the problem is. And I want the Africans that think, that are swallowing this lie to understand that, that's not what the truth is. It's poison that they are swallowing. Because they could totally see how the blacks have been misled.
Themselves.
Yes.
They are misleading themselves.
Oh, I know.
Because
I see it every day.
White is there telling them that this is how they supposed to behave. Yeah, it's like that, because I was reading the comment. It's like some people don't understand, first of all, that we have different types of cultures and how we interact. So when they are not Africans, they don't understand how we behave as Africans. Yeah. So, and then also I can understand how you behave in your community as Sonikim.
Yeah.
So we have different things, different types of things. So then it's like they think that Africans, when somebody is black, they have to be like them because it's how a black person is supposed to behave there.
But you see, the crazy thing is, a lot of these people, they do a disservice to blackness because they say Pan-Africanism, right? You see me, I see you, we all black. But what makes you think because black American, they're telling us that, their history has been changed. White people have changed their history. They don't know who they are. Okay, but okay, if I'm telling, I'm not I have never said I don't know my history. I know where I come from. We have our countries, right? So now they are contradicting, but they're contradicting themselves. But because they come back and try to tell us that they're the ones supporting Pan-Africanism. But is it possible you just need to kick back and take the time and ask us about the things you're seeing, how people are behaving? Because when I came to America, I didn't just start assuming things. Like I said, I learned from the soil, from the deeper, from the colleges, high school, elementary, prison. Because, I'm a father in America. I raised my child by myself. And I used to go to the school a lot. I waste no time to go and challenge some of the crazy things they say in the school. And my son always, he would tell them, "Oh, I'm gonna call my dad. Oh, they don't want to see me." I remember when my son was in kindergarten. This teacher, I come to the school one day, was like, "Oh, your son, he is hypersensitive, hyperactive, so we should put him on ADHD medication. They call it Ritalin." You know what I asked this woman? I looked at the teacher. I said, oh, I didn't know that now teachers can diagnose kids and prescribe medication for them. I said, are you a doctor? She's like, no. I said, oh, I said, so you're a teacher, right? She said, yeah. I said, answer this question for me. So you expect a 5-year-old to be able to sit down for 2 hours straight without moving? I said, does that make sense to you? She's like, well, you can try. I said, let me tell you something. I said, if he could sit for 2 hours and he didn't move, I said, I'll have to do a DNA test because I would question if he's my son. You see that? That doesn't make any sense. But do you know how many black mothers they say this to and they never challenge it? And these things, these kids, they use this, it messes them up. So a lot of black kids, they never had a chance to begin with. So this is what we are dealing with on the internet. Not all of them, but there is good enough numbers. You know,
Yes,
I know some are going to come and be sensitive about it, but, you know, it's about speaking facts, you know, and accepting what the truth is. We can have, you know, dissenting dialogue, but at the end of the day, you know, we have to accept the truth because the truth shall set all of us free. Because even we are both Africans, but Fang, if I want to tell you how to act as a Fang, pretty soon we wouldn't get along. We would, you see, yeah, it would get ugly, you see. But the reason why we're friendly with each other because I'm allowing you to be a Fang and you're allowing me to be a Soninke. We respect one another. But you go look at all these other platforms. What do you see over there? Chaos.
Well, what happened yesterday, yes, for example, in BC.
You did a show yesterday?
Yeah, I was there with them.
Oh, okay.
So, and I was like, no, I was performing, but I was me. Not like you cannot stop me. So to tell what I had supposed to tell, because they think that with themselves, you know, we're not. And me being a fan, we are very warrior-like people. So it's like they try us to behave in a way they like, yeah, like they can tell us what we're supposed to say, how to behave. So when we are allowed to speak, it's like they're trying to be like a less master, to us.
You know,
so
Fang,
not with me. And then there's like people like, hey, you're crazy. You are. No, I'm not crazy. You're not going to try me, and then you expect me not to react. Hey, no.
You know, Fang, that's interesting that you
so they try to
because
us.
You see that type of behavior. See, we don't act like that. You notice that? So maybe even like Mr. Uganda, I think he's just super nice. You see what I'm saying? But
no, he's not super nice.
No,
he knows what he's doing. Please. So when you were 22 years old, 23, what you were doing?
Oh,
you were an adult.
Yes, yes. I was rolling in the streets of America. That's right. Yeah.
So please, a person that yesterday, I'm just 22 years old. Excuse me. Something is wrong there.
Yeah, man. Well, Fang, this has been a great conversation. I really, enjoyed you coming in. In fact, when you were coming in, I was gonna introduce you with your music, but I'm just still gonna play it here. Oh no, wrong one. Excuse me. That's the wrong one. Yeah, I was calling you on the phone. Wrong one. Let's. That's been a great show with the African Fang. I really enjoyed, this conversation. We should do this more often so that we educate, the youths, and make sure that, people can stand up for themselves. You don't have to accept, what other people are trying to tell you. You have to think for yourself. And And the truth is, you are going to face haters. Because right now, look at it. Even, like in this chat room, there are people who they disagree with me. But I'm not even classifying these people as haters. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not classifying them as haters. They are here, and my thing is they are learning. So, and that's going to bring us to the end of this show here. African Fang, thank you so much. I really, enjoyed having you here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any last thing to say?
Yes, one last thing to say. So if you come to African channels and you put your messages not agreeing with us, so then don't complain if we go to your channels and we put messages that we don't agree either. And then don't call us haters because of that. Yes, please. Because what you do, we're going to do. So an African... with a tribe.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have it. I'm sorry, that happened to your ancestors, but they didn't have to do so. Nobody forced them to drop the tribes. Nobody forced them to say you stop there.
That's
so
right.
Whatever the situation or circumstance was in there, they decided. Yeah.
This
the
is
only
true.
thing the white man did to them is to force them to work miserably. Yeah, we know that. But the other things they had to adapt in those situations, but they didn't have to forget the tribes because tribes are passed down by parents, not by DNA test. So, thank you, Africa. No, I mean, me, I'm not upset with you, but it's like this is one thing. Please delete something what is in the video you made about me. That my name is in there. So
Which
because
one?
that is privacy.
Which one?
The one you made about me.
Oh,
My name is in there.
the
It's
video.
a privacy policy. It's a privacy policy in the comment sections.
Oh,
Yeah,
the video,
that's
the
what
one I
said
made.
with me since 2016.
Oh, is it? It is in the. You said it's in the comment section. Hello.
Yeah, the one you made the reaction is.
Oh, okay. You want me to delete the reaction video? Fang, can you hear me? Oh. Where did the Fang go? Hey, Fang, can you hear me?
Sorry, the connection here is like this is what is the connection with me, not you.
No problem, no problem. So, Fang, you were saying you wanted me to delete the reaction video?
Oh, no, the reaction video. You want to have it here? You
No, it's no problem.
I will tell you.
No, Fang,
Yeah.
if you're offended by it, I'm okay. I'll totally delete it. We're good. No problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like it's just not about that. It's because there is a privacy policy in there in the comment section.
No problem.
Going to cause you a problem.
Yeah. No problem. I'll totally.
Saying how my real name because it's for a very long time, an African American woman. Yes.
Oh, somebody. Oh, okay. No problem.
So yes, that's why. So, anyways, the other thing I want to say is like this is. People have to understand two people can have arguments, but we are adults. As you are seeing here, Afridamus and I, we are adults talking. We didn't even touch what happened there. Yeah? Things happen, but today is today. Yesterday happens. What we learned from yesterday, that today, he and I, we are talking, we forgot the yesterday to start the future.
That's right.
So people, it's how people are supposed to be, and mostly Africans is how we go. We know what is in Africa. We know what we have to do here where we are right now, and then to look the future, the day we want to go to Africa, to change things. We are going to go to Africa to open businesses or houses or whatever, not to go with another type of mentality we left there when we left.
This is true. I really appreciate you, the African Fang, and I would certainly delete that. And you are always welcome here, and you are always free to invite me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure next week. For sure next week I will be in SABC. Yeah, for sure next week. Yeah.